A tree left behind, Jimin's quiet. Instagram drawing sparks questions. Is this about Jungkook and Taeyoung growing closer? Is Jimin's silent tree drawing on Instagram a reflection of his inner turmoil? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you believe even a small sketch can hold 1,000 unspoken feelings, because sometimes a tree on paper says more than words ever could. The image appeared out of nowhere. No caption, no emoji, just a lone tree drawn in black ink on lined paper. No color, no season, no one else around. The tree stands alone, its roots deep, its trunk steady, but its branches are chaotic. A web of dark lines, as if struggling to hold itself together. The grass beneath it is unruly. There are no birds, no sun, no sky, just heavy silence. In the corner, a tiny signature. Jimin. A tree as a silent message. Hours before this image was uploaded, the internet erupted. Jungkook and Taeyoung were spotted at the airport dressed in matching black, walking side by side toward their LA flight, calm, content, and in sync. One viral photo even showed Jungkook gently placing his hand on Taeyoung's head, a gesture so intimate it sent fans into a frenzy. And Jimin, he posted a tree. Nothing more, but maybe it was everything. Why a tree? That was the question flooding the comments. Some fans took it as a casual sketch, a random drawing, but others, those who've watched Jimin for years, saw something deeper, something aching beneath the surface. The tree could be himself, standing alone as others walk away. The tree might be a memory, rooted in something that's now fading. The tree could be a witness, holding feelings he can no longer say out loud. When Jungkook stops looking back, it's hard to ignore what once was. Jikook, the bond between Jimin and Jungkook used to be everywhere. On stage, off stage, in interviews, behind the scenes clips, and even fan theories. They laughed, whispered, and protected each other like their lives depended on it. But now, Taeyoung has returned to Jungkook's side. From secret gym sessions, Paris trips, and now airport departures, the Taekook moments are multiplying. Comfort is blooming between them again. Meanwhile, Jimin, the one who once stood closest to Jungkook, has quietly stepped back, and the only thing he left behind was a tree. A morning of silence. Insiders say Jimin drew the tree early in the morning, alone in his studio. No music, no lights, just a pen, a blank page, and something heavy on his chest. He didn't draw it for art. He didn't draw it for likes. He drew it because there was no other way to let it out. Each chaotic line in the leaves mirrored the tangle of thoughts in his head. The rough shadows beneath the trunk resembled burdens that wouldn't go away, and the emptiness around the tree that was perhaps the loudest part of all. That's what a close source claimed Jimin quietly said when asked about the sketch. He didn't want attention. He didn't want pity. He just needed a place to exist, even if only on paper. And when someone you once trusted deeply starts walking beside someone else, sometimes all you can do is draw. Army notices the shift. They always do. Within minutes, the comments turned into quiet poetry. This tree feels like loneliness. Jimin never posts this kind of art. Something's off. He's not okay, is he? Is this really about Jungkook? We may never know. Jimin won't say it. Jungkook probably doesn't realize it. But the timing right after the Taekook airport moment is too precise to ignore. The tree looks like a whisper. If you're happy, I'll stay quiet. But staying quiet doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Silence is simply the voice of those who've run out of words. Despite the heartbreak fans are reading into it, the tree still stands tall. It doesn't fall. It doesn't bend. And maybe that's the real message here. Jimin may feel left behind. He may be hurting. But he's still rooted. Still standing. Still drawing. Even when no one's watching. Maybe the tree wasn't for Jungkook. Maybe, just maybe, it was for Jimin himself. A promise. A reminder. A reflection of who he is even when he feels invisible. Because just like that tree, he survives storms in silence. He grows in the dark. And though the branches may look messy, the roots are deeper than anyone can see. The tree won't talk, but it doesn't need to, because those who've ever felt forgotten will always understand exactly what it's saying. I didn't know the tree was me. While Jimin's sketch quietly stirred waves of emotion among ARMY, Jungkook was somewhere over the Pacific. In the captured airport footage, he looked calm, confident, perhaps even a little lighter than usual. His hand casually ruffled Taeyoung's head, a gesture so natural it didn't seem rehearsed. To those watching, it looked like two friends reconnecting after time apart. But what about the third person who wasn't in frame? The one who used to be beside him. The one who now only speaks in shadows of ink. Back in LA, surrounded by flashing lights and a swarm of cameras, Jungkook finally scrolled through his private feed. He saw the tree. He paused. It wasn't tagged. It wasn't even posted on the main feed. It was quiet, like him and himself. The image haunted him. He zoomed in on the branches, the chaotic lines, the space, the solitude. He didn't double tap. He didn't comment. He just stared, heart suddenly heavy because somewhere deep down, a part of him knew. This wasn't just a drawing. It was a confession. He used to tell me. There was a time when Jungkook would know Jimin's moods before a word was said. A subtle silence, a glance to the side, the way his fingers tapped the table or how he bit his lip when unsure. Now, Jimin drew trees instead, and Jungkook realized he had been too caught up in his own rediscovered joy to notice someone else's quiet unraveling. Taeyoung had returned to his life like sunshine after a long storm. It was natural to smile more, laugh more, spend time catching up. Jungkook hadn't meant to ignore Jimin, but intention doesn't always equal impact. Jungkook thought they had reached that stage of comfort where even in silence, they were fine, where space didn't mean distance and missed calls didn't mean fading feelings. But now, that tree was staring at him like a mirror, and he began asking himself, when was the last time I asked if he was okay? When did I stop checking his mood just by looking at his eyes? When did we stop laughing at nothing? He couldn't answer, because somewhere along the way, something had shifted, not intentionally, but deeply. The guilt that came too late. Jungkook couldn't stop replaying the moment at the airport, when he touched Taeyoung's head. Had Jimin seen it? Had it stung? And the bigger question, would Jimin ever tell him if it did? He knew the answer. Jimin was the kind of person who'd draw pain before admitting it. He'd write metaphors before speaking honestly about heartbreak. He didn't cause scenes, he whispered, in ways that only those who truly paid attention would hear. And Jungkook, he hadn't been listening. What do I do now? The question hung in his hotel room like fog. He typed a message, deleted it, typed again, stared, then turned off the screen. What words do you send someone who drew their pain and signed it with silence? Sorry felt too small. Are you okay? Felt too late. So instead, he picked up a pencil and opened a blank page. He didn't post it. Not yet. Maybe never. But Jungkook began to draw. Not with skill, but with feeling. He sketched a moon glowing, full, surrounded by darkness. He placed it high above a tree. Jimin's tree. He shaded shadows beneath it, letting the moonlight touch only the branches. It didn't erase the pain in the tree, but it acknowledged it, as if to say, you were always there. I just forgot to look up. Meanwhile, Jimin remained silent. Back in Korea, Jimin hadn't posted again. No updates, no selfies, no voice notes. But maybe he didn't need to, because his tree had already spoken, and somewhere in LA, the person it was meant for had finally started to understand. And Taeyoung, let's not forget the third soul in this quiet triangle. He had felt it to the lingering tension, the glance Jungkook stole at his phone after seeing the tree, the way his laughter dimmed slightly after. Taeyoung wasn't oblivious. He just didn't know what to say either. And maybe, just maybe, he too had missed Jimin. But that is another story. Taeyoung noticed the shift long before the drawing. He had felt it in Jungkook's smile, brighter, but heavier, in Jimin's footsteps present, but no longer anchored to them. And now, standing in the hallway of a luxury hotel in LA, phone in hand, he stared at the tree drawing just like the rest of the world. His thumb hovered over the post. He didn't like it. He didn't comment, because the moment he saw it, something inside him cracked. Not for himself, for them. Did I come back too late? Taeyoung had always been close to Jungkook, once inseparable, like matching stars in a galaxy of 7. But life, military duties, and internal drift had slowly pulled them apart.